Hey guys, Soul here, and we are just a few hours away from the beginning of A2, the Space-Time Smackdown set coming out for TCG Pocket. But before we go into that, I want to have a few Q&A, some things to go over before you guys spend all your precious hourglasses and maybe even gold on deciding on what pack you're going to be opening up. We'll be going over some of the cards that you can get in either pack there, and then you guys can come to the conclusion of which one you guys are going to be going for, either the Dialga one or the Palkia one, and depending on what type of decks that you're looking to build. I'll give a few decks that I've thought up so far on, and show you which pack you'll be leaning more towards in order to make those decks. Alright, so thankfully found on Twitter, this awesome individual was able to compile all the different full art cards and basically chase cards that people are going to be looking for in this new set. Once it comes out, we can see everything that comes out in the Palkia pack as well as everything that comes out into the Dialga set. Feel free to take a pause here and kind of search through and see which ones you guys are leaning more towards. Personally, I'm going to be going more towards the Palkia deck, or the Palkia packs. Palkia was always my favorite. I played Pearl whenever I grew up, and I think that just like the more interesting cards for me personally are on that side. If we look at some of the ones that are over there, we have, like I said, Palkia. We also have the Weavile. The Weavile EX is looking to be a really cool one to be playing with. The Dark archetype is definitely gonna get a huge boost with that one. Of course, Infernape EX, which is basically just gonna be replacing Charizard for the foreseeable future, in my opinion. His attack and his energy cost, is incredible, and so that will definitely be seeing a lot of play. Whenever it comes to the trainers, you have Cyrus and Cynthia, which personally are probably the best two trainers out of this new pack. So I know a lot of people are, including myself, are going to be leaning more towards the Palkia side for that. But like I said before, depending on your guys' preference, which cards are your favorites, which card arts you like the most, definitely take a look at that. If you go on Twitter and you search up their handle there, /NaniAFK, you can see all the cards a little bit closer and be able to read some of their effects. We won't be going over too many effects, as you've probably seen other videos that have already gone over every single effect. So this is going to be a nice short and sweet one to look at right before the pack comes out. Alrighty, so far I've been able to cook up 6 different decks using a variety of cards, some only from the Palkia side, and others only from the Dialga side, and as well as some that's from both. And so we're going to be going over those deck lists here real quick, and if you notice any of those deck lists seem to excite you a lot, then it might sway you a little bit over to one of the packs of you guys getting. And don't worry, we're also going to have gameplay video on all sorts of different deck lists and stuff coming out in the next 24 hours once this pack drops here on the channel. So the first deck we're going to be looking at is the new Dark Meta deck. This is going to be a very powerful, a very prevalent deck that you're going to be seeing pretty much everywhere. Like I was saying before, Weavile EX is a 1 energy cost, does very good damage, very fast attacker. But the big one that people are pretty scared about is the Darkrai EX. Now, Darkrai, little summary for you. His ability is, once you put a energy on him, he deals damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. Just like that. So you could have Weavile EX actually hitting them with energy while you're putting energy on Darkrai on the bench and still dealing damage that way, which is crazy. And so the deck list that I thought of over here is also utilizing the Weezing and Koga strategy. So you can put Coughing and Weezing up in the front there while you're steadily damaging with Darkrai in the back as well. and you use Weezing as a tank, so you can have them keep hitting him, use Koga to get him out, and then you have a full, already evolved Weavile and or Darkrai ready to attack. This is going to be a mixture type deck, so Darkrai is only available in the Dialga pack, while Weavile is available in the Palkia pack. So you would probably need to use both. Cyrus is also only available in the Palkia pack, and the Great Cape Pokemon tool is in the Dialga one. So to get the full Dark experience, you're probably going to want to have to do both of them. That's them really squeezing us dry there out of our pack points and our hourglasses. Putting both of those in different packs. Gotta love that. Our next one we're going to be going over is the Infernape deck, which is probably my personal favorite. Cool thing about this one, only Palkia. So if you want to play this deck, only have to go into the Palkia deck, or pack. You don't have to even look at the Dialga one, which is perfect. With this one, you can get Infernape EX, as well as the pre-evolutions from Palkia. It works really well with Moltres, as does every other fire deck, unfortunately. Moltres being the main way that fire is accumulating fire energy as fast as it does. So if you have been playing the game for a little bit and you're able to pick up 2 Moltres EX, throw them in any fire deck basically, especially this one. And then my spicy little tech I added for this deck here is going to be the Spiritomb. The Spiritomb is such a cool card. 1 colorless energy, so it can work in literally any deck, which is great. So 1 energy, it does 10 damage to every Pokemon on your opponent's field, no matter what. So if they have a full field, you're doing 10 damage to any of them. And so my idea was using Spiritomb and Cyrus, because Cyrus being like a boss's order card, it's basically just Sabrina but on crack. You can choose any damaged Pokemon on their field, make them the active Pokemon, which is awesome. So both of those go pretty hand in hand. Dawn is only available in the Dialga one, so that's kind of interchangeable. You don't have to use Dawn, but I thought of kind of like a cool situation with it. Infernape does not have any retreat cost, so if you're able to use Moltres and kind of move Moltres out and have Infernape up there, you could kind of switch in and out with Infernape and then use Dawn to move some of that energy around, since you're not going to be losing any energy from switching, thanks to Leaf as well. Leaf is there pretty much to get Moltres out, since Moltres has 2 energy. We have 1 X speed, just in case. Not sure if you really need the X speed. You could probably take that out too. And then the Great Cape, you'll notice in a lot of these decks. Feel free to take that out for potions or Sabrinas or Giovanni's, any trainer card pretty much, if you're only looking to go into 1 pack. For me, I'll be doing both packs, so that's why mine's kind of like a mixture of both, but almost all of these cards are only in the Palkia pack, which is great. The next one we're looking at is going to be Palkia EX. So this fun little spicy deck I cooked up. Once again, pretty much all Palkia. Only one that isn't, you'll see, is that Great Cape there. Apparently that's only in Dialga. Didn't realize that when I was making the decks. So take those out, put some potions, put Sabrinas, you can put Giovanni's, any trainer pretty much, Cyrus even. Honestly, Cyrus would work really well in this deck too, because the theme of this deck is attacking your opponent's benched Pokemon. Palkia, his attacks the bench, Rotom Frost attacks the bench, and then of course Greninja, everyone knows, attacks the bench, is one of the first to do it besides Articuno. And so, pretty sure I did mean to put Cyrus in this deck, so I don't know why he's not in there. Yeah, honestly, if I were to make a change, you could probably take out all the capes and put Cyrus in there, or have 1 Rotom Frost and 1 cape, and then put 2 Cyrus in there. I think that would do pretty well. Anyways, I digress. really fun deck. Can't wait to use that on stream. I'll definitely make a video with this one. And once again, mainly Palkia you'll be finding it for. So as you can see, I was leaning more towards the Palkia side whenever I was creating this the few deck lists that I've made so far. The next one we are looking at is another Palkia deck. I gotta make more Dialga ones. I'm looking pretty biased here. Cynthia is one of the trainers in Palkia, as well as her Togekiss and the other new EX, Miss Magius. Really awesome low energy attacking EX Mon. And it is guaranteed confusion, which we don't know exactly how it's going to work in the game yet, but I imagine it's going to be annoying and fun to use. Another awesome reason to play the Cynthia Togekiss deck is Togekiss is a monster of a card. So not only does Togepi and Togetic have just a 1 energy attack for 20 and then 40, which is really solid, Togekiss only takes 2 energy and its attack is 60 damage, which by itself is already pretty good for 2 psychic energy, but its ability says that the next turn that you use the same exact attack, it does an extra 60 damage, making it 120 damage for 2. Anything being hit by 60 and then 120 is already gone. There's no way something can survive 2 of those. Throw in the Cynthia that adds an extra 50 damage, 5-0, even better than Blaine. Onto that attack too, nothing's just surviving. So it's just a monster of a card. And the next one we're looking at is finally a Dialga deck. So the fighting ones are pretty much primarily going to be in the Dialga one. Lucario is really big one everyone's excited about. Being able to boost up all of your fighting type Pokemon by 20 extra attack just by being on the field is really awesome. Pairing that with Gallade EX, which Gallade EX is basically your Alakazam, but honestly even better in my opinion. Only takes 2 energy and does the same effect. It'll do extra damage depending on how much energy your opponent's active Pokemon has, so can deal some really awesome energy. And you'll notice that even though it's the first split energy evolution that we have in the game, the Ralts and the Curlia all have colorless energy, so it's not going to be affected by anything. And honestly, these two are probably better than the previous ones we had in the Genetic Apex, which is awesome. And then you also see Dawn in this one here. Dawn, once again, able to move some energy around. You can probably do some fun plays with that. I also do have Marshadow, because Marshadow is an awesome, amazing card from the Mythical Island set. Think about having Lucario on the bench, and then you're able to take out like your Ralts that you just had up there for fodder, and send out your Marshadow and can do 120 revenge damage is absurdly awesome. So we'll definitely be using that on stream too. And last but not least, our final deck of the video we're going over is Dialga EX, which is the biggest buff to steel type decks, and honestly just any deck in general that has colorless energy. I'm sure all of you have seen by now, but just in case, Dialga EX basically says once you get 2 energy on it, his move that deals 30 damage, you take 2 more steel energy and put them on any Pokemon in your bench. So buy 2, get 2 free. Crazy energy increase there, and will do super well in all these new steel decks coming out. My idea, of course, was to pair him with Melmetal. Melmetal also super bulky, does really good damage for the 4 energy, which you'll be able to get super quickly. And then the newest steel type, and personally my favorite one to come out of the new packs here, is the Bastiodon. So Bastiodon, for the 3 energy, does 80 damage, so pretty cool. But his ability is so cool. Anytime he gets hit in the active zone, flip a coin. If it's heads, then the damage is minused by 100. Just like that. So he is like the ultimate tank. Can tank so much hits then if you just get the coin flip right. It can completely nullify attacks or just withstand some of the strongest attacks too. And he's got pretty good HP too, being a stage 2 since it comes from a fossil. So this is going to be another really popular one you're probably going to see a lot of come day 1 in the next few hours of recording here once the new set drops. Pairing him with the new Pokemon tool, the Cape. Add an extra 20 HP onto any of these guys, they're never dying, because Melmetal also has a similar effect where he takes like 20-30 less damage from all attacks. Dialga is just bulky. One thing I think I would change, looking at this deck list I threw together real quick, I would probably have 2 Leafs instead of a Dawn. Yeah, Dawn is pretty cool because if you have 2 Dialgas out, like you could or just 1 Dialga out and you're kind of moving energy to the bench. If you wanted to, you could play your Dawn, and so on turn right after the turn that you use the Dialga's effect to put 2 energy on the bench, all you need to do is use Dawn, you give it an extra 1, and now it's ready to use his 4 energy attack. So Dawn is pretty good, so I'd leave it as is actually. I think the 1-in-1 would be good. But yeah, so this is going to be our Dialga only one. And that covers pretty much all the decks that we have that I've made so far. Yeah, I got a lot of cool ones coming out. Well, like I said, that covers pretty much all the decks that I have made so far. Just from the top of my head, after looking at all the leaks, expect a bunch of videos coming out of all sorts of deck lists and different battles coming out. Gonna be streaming a lot with battles as well, so if you're interested in checking that out, I'll be streaming over here on YouTube as well as on Twitch. And if you enjoyed the video, consider subscribing, leaving a like, and comment down below. Let me know what pack you're most excited for and which one you're going to be dumping all of your hourglasses into. Like I said, I'm going to be going for Palkia, but might dip my toes in the Dialga one as well. And that's it for today's video. I hope it helped out with your guys' decision on which pack you're going to be choosing. I hope you guys enjoy the release of Space Time Smackdown, and can't wait to see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.